Medea, the myth of Jason and the Golden Fleece, the hidden meaning of a terrifying story. Today, I will uncover not the obvious, but the hidden meaning of the myth, the tale of Jason's quest for the Golden Fleece, or rather, the story of the priestess of Hecate, Medea. Medea, in Greek Medea, a sorceress, daughter of Aeetes, the king of Colchis, and the Oceanid Edea, granddaughter of the sun god Helios, priestess of Hecate, bearer of the essence of Zagreus. Jason, a descendant of Sisyphus, the trickster punished by the gods, and great-grandson of Aeolus, lord of the winds. His uncle Pelias had unlawfully seized the throne and Jason demanded its return. But Pelias, acting according to the will of the gods, sent Jason on an impossible quest to bring back the Golden Fleece. Colchis was not simply a distant land. For the Olympian gods, Colchis was the Otherworld, a realm beyond their power. And so, Jason built the ship Argo, a vessel that could cross the boundaries between worlds. To bless the journey, the goddess Athena herself brought from the sacred grove a magical branch. The same branch we later see in Virgil's Aeneid, a key that opened the path for Aeneas into the underworld of Tartarus. What else must we know to truly understand the myth of Jason and Medea? There once was a goddess of the clouds, Nephele. She united with King Athamas and bore him 2 children, Helle and Phrixus. But Nephele, being a cloud, could never stay in one place. She drifted endlessly, and in the end, the king was left alone. Yet a king cannot remain without a queen. So Athamas took another wife, the princess Ino, sister of Semele, beloved of Zeus and mother of Dionysus. Let us look at the lineage of these sisters. Semele, daughter of Cadmus, king of Thebes, grandson of Poseidon, and Harmonia, daughter of Ares and Aphrodite. Ino, also daughter of Cadmus and Harmonia. 2 daughters, 2 sisters. In mythology, they are mind and madness, black and white. Semele, the mother of Dionysus. Ino, his nurse after Semele's death. Ino, having married King Athamas, decided to rid herself of his children from Nephele, Helle and Phrixus. She conspired with her people, urging them to sacrifice the children to the gods. But at the plea of their mother, Nephele, Zeus sent salvation, a golden fleeced ram capable of carrying the children into the otherworld. The children mounted the ram and fled from Boeotia. Yet as they flew over the Bosphorus, Helle fell into the sea. The strait was named after her, Hellespont, the Dardanelles. Her brother Phrixus reached Colchis safely. There the ram was sacrificed to the gods, and its fleece was hung in a sacred grove. To guard it was set a dragon of Colchis, the last child of Echidna and Tartarus. Phrixus lived in Colchis for a long time. But when he sought to return home, without a guide from the other world back to the realm of the gods, he wandered lost across the seas and remained upon a distant island. As for Ino, she received her punishment from the gods. After many grim deeds, she leapt from a cliff with her children. Yet because she had once nursed the son of Zeus, Dionysus, she was not erased from the divine order. Instead, she was transformed into a sea nymph, Leucothea. And so, Jason set out on his journey for the Golden Fleece, a treasure many philosophers and mystics would later see as the prototype of the philosopher's stone. Along the way, Jason faced countless trials. The full tales are told in the books of Greek mythology, but today, I will turn your attention to something else. Aeetes, king of Colchis, to whom Jason and the Argonauts came seeking the fleece, set a task for the hero: to plow a field with the fire-breathing bulls of Ares, and to sow this field with the teeth of a dragon. Aeetes had a daughter, Medea. She bore the power of the ancient mothers, and it was she whom Hera and Athena struck with a burning passion for Jason. What we, in simple words, would call a spell of love. Medea chose to aid the hero, but she took an oath from him that Jason would take her with him. She prepared for him a potion so that the flames of the bulls could not burn his flesh. She taught him the way to overcome the warriors who sprang from the dragon's teeth. And at last, she lulled to sleep the Colchian dragon, guardian of the Golden Fleece. And thus, the fleece was taken by Jason. Jason and Medea set out on their return journey. But to cross from one world into another required an immense force of energy. And that energy was taken from a blood sacrifice, the death of Medea's own brother. The Argonauts then arrived at the island of Circe, also known as Circe, aunt of Medea, herself a priestess of Hecate. Through sacred rites, Circe cleansed Medea of her brother's blood, and before the altar of Hecate, the marriage of Jason and Medea was sealed. The Golden Fleece was delivered to Pelias and placed within the temple of Ares, the god of mad and ruinous war. But to rid themselves of the usurper Pelias, Medea devised a cunning trap, luring him to death at the hands of his own daughters. Yet the people of the land would not endure the deceit of Jason and Medea, and so they were cast out, driven from the kingdom. In Corinth, where they sought refuge, the king received Jason with honor, and he chose to give Jason his own daughter, Glaus, as bride. Jason, already father of 2 children by Medea, renounced her, and in doing so, broke his solemn oath. And here, at last, the spell of love breaks. Medea sees clearly and receives revelation from the goddess herself, Hecate. Hecate, daughter of Nyx and Erebos. Hecate, the power against which neither the Olympian gods nor the mighty Titans can do anything. She alone decides what shall be and what shall not. She is the one who opens and closes all paths and crossroads in every world. She is the beginning and the end of all things. It was Hecate who told Medea about the spell, about Jason, and about the games of the gods. And from that moment, Hecate gave her daughter, her priestess, the commandments. First, never, under any circumstance, may she allow herself to become a plaything in the hands of gods, men, or rulers. She must obey no one's will. Second, she may do whatever she desires, but only if the first commandment is kept. Third, she must never bear children by an oath-breaker or by one who is not her own. Why does Medea, breaking with the past and beginning her true path, kill the children of Jason? Remember, myth cannot be read as a human tale. The actions of gods cannot be judged by human meanings. This is a different kind of story. Here, through the image of the children, we are shown the fruit, the result, the fruit of an illusion of love. The blood of these children carried within it the seed of betrayal and the mark of a broken oath. Such results, not children in the human sense, but the very consequence of deception, had to be destroyed. And so, Medea rose upon winged chariots and fled from Corinth. In time, she became queen of Athens. Later, she returned to her own land, Colchis, with her son, Medus. And all things came full circle. But what remained was the myth, the teaching, the algorithm. Medea sees the image of freedom, the independence of Hecate's chthonic power, Had Medea agreed to live as Jason's kept woman, to have wealth and comfort and children beside her, then Zeus, the system, would have gained control over the ancient powers of Hecate. Hecate allowed the provocation of Medea to reveal what must never be allowed in one's life, and what the consequences would be. The sacrifice of Medea was necessary. This myth is not truly about the Golden Fleece. It is about Medea herself. Medea, the eternal symbol of freedom, of the ancient feminine force, which Zeus so desperately sought to suppress within his order. Medea, the warning to every woman who carries this power, but lays it down upon the altar of illusory love. For if this power was given to her by the ancient mother herself, by the goddess Hecate, she has no right to surrender it. Flow backward to your sources, sacred rivers. Let the world's great order be reversed. For it is men's thoughts that deceive, and their promises that are empty. Look closely. How many times have you seen the story of Medea repeated in the lives of your friends, your family, perhaps even in your own life? Now the meaning is clear. The outcome is clear, and you don't need to ask a fortune teller. The tragedy of Medea was brought to life with unforgettable power by Maria Callas in Pier Paolo Pasolini's film. And perhaps, in that role, Callas revealed not only the myth, but also the deepest pain and sacrifice of her own life.
We shall continue our search and our decoding of the myths. And to you, thank you. Thank you for your attention and for the time you spent watching and reflecting. If you wish to support this project, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to follow the next investigations of crazy mythology. And may it all work out for us.